There comes a time when what once worked incredibly well deteriorates. Sales decline, performance plateaus, or your productivity system buckles under your new workload. In these moments, what you need is to push on a leverage point to get unstuck and regain momentum. It's like finding a giant boulder in your path and a sturdy stick beside it. By placing the stick under the edge and using a fulcrum, you can move the boulder with surprisingly little effort. Dan Heath, author of some of my favorite books, like Switch and Made to Stick, discovered proven methods for getting unstuck, what I'll refer to as Reset Fulcrums, and detailed them in his new book, Reset. You can use these fulcrums to remove the boulders that hold you, your team, or your business back and regain momentum. In this video, we'll cover 3 powerful methods for creating reset fulcrums: sketching out a map, blowing up a bottleneck, and identifying a bright spot. First, sketch out a map to spot waste. If you followed a patient around a hospital, tracking each of their movements and waiting times, how much wasted time do you think you'd uncover? A team at the University of Iowa hospital wanted to find out, so they followed patients through the radiology wing and drew their journey on a map with waiting times. They called it a spaghetti chart because it looked like a mess of tangled paths. When hospital staff saw this map, the fixes were obvious. For example, instead of having patients drink the contrast dye for CT scans in the nurse's office and then wait for it to go through their system, they gave it to patients at the check-in counter and eliminated over 30 minutes of needless waiting. In just 5 days of changes after seeing the spaghetti map, the University of Iowa Hospital eliminated 91% of the steps patients took, allowing the hospital to see 31% more patients a day and make an additional $750,000 in revenue a year later. Here's the thing. When you've been doing something for years, you stop noticing the waste. If you can spot this waste and clean it out, you'll either create a super efficient system with huge rewards or free up time to double down on what's actually working well. It's like a YouTuber cutting all the boring parts from a video and suddenly getting 10 times more views and engagement. You can apply this principle to your life or business in a variety of ways. If you sell stuff online, map out your customer's journey. Maybe there's one spot where people give up because a page loads too slowly, or there's too much text before they can click buy now. If you're trying to get better at a sport, record yourself practicing. I recently documented my entire golf practice session by describing every action I took, out loud, in real time, into a voice recording on my phone. Afterward, I turned that audio recording into a time-stamped transcript. I quickly discovered that I was wasting half my practice time doing things that were not pushing my skills. Now let's talk about a second method for finding a reset fulcrum: blow up the bottleneck. Chick-fil-A has a remarkable drive-thru. They serve a car every 9 seconds on average. That's nearly twice as fast as McDonald's. Their incredible drive-thru process is one of the reasons they are among the top food franchises in America. But their drive-thru wasn't always spectacular. Many years ago, their performance was stagnant, so they looked at the entire drive-thru process to identify a critical bottleneck. They discovered that customer ordering time was the one thing that was holding up progress. They could hire 10 cooks, install 7 new grills, and upgrade to cutting-edge beverage dispensers. But if customers didn't get their order to the staff quicker, none of those investments would matter. So Chick-fil-A experimented with different methods and found that placing staff outside with mobile ordering devices radically sped up orders. It turns out that when someone stands in front of you, you make decisions faster than when talking to an invisible person on an intercom. Having team members outside also allowed Chick-fil-A to guide overwhelmed customers and direct traffic to maintain a continuous flow. Now apply the bottleneck principle to your life. What's one constraint that, if removed, would unleash a flood of progress in an area you're struggling with? Test your answer by determining if the following statement holds true. I could improve 5 or more things in this area, but if I fail to improve this one thing, none of those other improvements matter. One man in the book discovered that the bottleneck in his marriage was gratitude. Without genuine appreciation for his wife, no amount of counseling sessions, vacations, or loving gestures would reignite their connection. After addressing his lack of gratitude, their affection and playfulness returned. You'll find that most breakthroughs don't occur by working harder, but by zooming out to find the one constraint you need to direct all your focus on. Now, the final way to create a reset fulcrum and regain momentum is to identify a bright spot. Hidden within most broken systems are bright spots, small moments of unexpected success that can guide your path forward. If you have a failing sales team, but one person consistently hits targets, study them obsessively. What exactly do they do differently? Maybe a top performer on your team isn't following the official script at all. Instead, they are asking 3 specific questions that are sparking your customers' desire to buy. If your team adopts these questions, you might double your sales in the next 6 weeks. If you're a writer and find yourself in a writing slump, take a step back and notice when you seem to write your best, when great ideas and stories just seem to flow out of you. Maybe it's in the evening, from 8 to 10 p.m. just before bed. Instead of fighting this pattern, build your schedule around it to break out of your writing funk. Whatever you do, identify specific moments you do it unusually well. When you know what conditions drive your best work, you can re-engineer your process to make those moments the norm, not the exception. Once you've found a fulcrum to move a boulder that's holding you back, either by mapping a process to find waste, locating a critical bottleneck, or identifying a bright spot, apply a burst of force to get unstuck. That is, direct all your attention to a single change, and don't stop until you've made significant progress. Think of it like trying to declutter your house. You could do it gradually over 6 months, but all the starting and stopping adds up to more work and less momentum. Instead, dedicate 6 focused hours on a single Saturday to make massive progress in one area of your house and experience a huge win. Then use your momentum to finish the rest of the house by the end of the month. So if you're on a team that needs a reset, get everyone in a room and block off an entire day to implement an innovative solution to address the waste, remove the bottleneck, or build off a bright spot. When you apply focused effort to the right leverage point, frustration turns into flow, and momentum returns. The key isn't working harder. It's finding a fulcrum you can use to clear the way for progress and reinvent a broken system. That was the core message that I gathered from Reset by Dan Heath. This is a fantastic book that provides many more stories and strategies to help you change what's not working. If you would like a 1-page PDF summary of insights that I gathered from this book, just click the link below and I'll email it to you. If you already subscribe to the free Productivity Game newsletter, this PDF is sitting in your inbox.